Welcome, everybody. Another wonderful Monday night at Chewin the BBQ Fat. Holy smokes. It has been exciting. Baseball is back in full swing for us here at the Jarvis household. So that means everything's always a mess. Sorry we're late. We tried to get started a little early. Brett, you the man. Thank you so much. This is my favorite part of Monday nights also. I tell you what, there's nothing quite like it. Having the opportunity to come on Monday nights and talk about barbecue is something that I just love to do. I hope it's your favorite part of the Monday also. But you know what you can do if it's your favorite part of Monday, share the page, like the page, get it out there. Let's get as many people watching this as we can. Look at that. Oh, my beard. I'm gonna have to work on that thing. Hope everybody had a good week last week cooking. I know a lot of stuff's going on. Lakeland's coming up soon. I know there's some stuff coming up in Arizona happening. Here we go. Matt Goodman, the man. I tell you what, I love that guy. He is just out there working hard every day, trying to make everybody happy. If you haven't had any of his stuff, his barbecue, it'll make you happy. Ain't that right, Matt? One thing I'm going to do, I am going to talk about Lee Hickle. Lee Hickle is the guy that came and talked about ribs at our class, gave a great demonstration, everything he did. Not only does he do all that, a great guy, he goes out to Louisiana, cooks against 44 teams, number one ribs, first place ribs, reserve grain champion. I'm telling you, if you missed our class, oh, you missed it. You missed out. That right there, ribs, he told everything. Not only is he doing that, he's going out to updating he's updating the academy that he's part of, Champs Academy. That's right, Matt. That's what you do. Changing lives one bite at a time. I mean, you are the man. Not only are you the man, I am so excited about tonight's show. You know, I've talked about what we're trying to do. We're trying to really push GBC. We're trying to push KCBS, CBA. We're trying to push barbecue. My goal this year is to get barbecue out there as much as possible. And I have the best of the best coming on. Tonight's show, if you missed out on our class, you missed it. You just missed it. I mean, it was amazing. But there's another opportunity coming up with some other good cooks. Yours truly will be cooking, teaching you everything I know about pork, which is actually, you know, I can cook pork. Don't worry about it. But we got a good rib cook. We got a good chicken cook. And we got an incredible brisket cook. And not only that, we have Scott Parr, the guy, the man. When it comes to Georgia barbecue, he's going to be on tonight just talking wonderful things about Georgia barbecue. So if you are at all interested in learning about how to cook some of the best food in the Southeast, come cook the class. Come take the class. If you want to be a part of the best points chase in the Southeast, join the GBC. Be a part of that points chase that you're going to come in and compete against the best of the best. What we're doing here in Georgia, we're just really trying to push that barbecue. But anyway, next week, I'm excited. Got Brad Leininger coming on with getting basted, the barbecue league, whatever you want to talk about. Got him coming on, talking about all the wonderful things happening in barbecue, what the league's doing over there. I mean, I tell you what, if you're not a part of the barbecue league, join in. Holy smokes. I could be willing to bet there's a couple people in here that talk about the barbecue league. But anyway, I hope you all having a wonderful night. Jason Hardy, what's going on, my man? Hope you're feeling better. Hope you're doing well. Been thinking about you. So anyway, well, before I get any farther, share the page, like the page, get it out there. Stephen Paris, GBC is a fun chase with great cooks and comps. Amen, brother. Amen. So Anthony, there he is. Looking forward to our first competition, Georgia Sip and Swine. I cannot wait, Anthony. Can't wait to see you there. And I'm telling you, I'm just going to throw it out there. If you haven't used his brisket caddy, you probably should. That's enough. That's all I'm going to say with that. But let me go ahead and bring on Mr. Scott Parr. Scott Parr is the guy when you want to talk about Georgia barbecue, when you want to talk about anything that has to do with anything Georgia. This is the guy. I mean, Scott Parr, you love talking about Georgia barbecue, don't you?
Oh, I thought we was talking about moonshine tonight, Brian.
Well, you know, we could talk moonshine too. It's something else that could be talked about on another show.
No, really looking forward to it. Looking forward for the season to start. My wife even says she was ready to get back out there and start cooking again. So You know,
she's ready for you to get out there and cook again, so you'll stop talking so much about barbecue.
That's it. Yeah, she wants to get me out of the house.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I just saw Sean was on down there, and then it looks like he jumped off. Hopefully, he'll come back on. Remember, it's all about the caddy. I tell you what, it is. What's up, Lincoln? Hope you're doing well. All right, dude from YouTube. Love the bots on YouTube, all the spam that you get. It's pretty awesome. So, Scott, real quick, tell me about GBC. What do you got going on? What's new since we talked last? Go for it.
There's a lot going on. I mean, sign-ups have started, so the links to sign up is there. The class, we still have some seats available, but they're going very quickly. So if you want to attend this great class with some first place cooks, the best in Georgia, then now's the time to jump in on it. New board members are on. They're working hard. They're going after some sponsors. They come in with some great ideas. So we're looking at.
Did I hear sponsors?
Yeah, sponsors.
Man, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I think we picked up a big dog. What was it? Atlanta Barbecue Store? Yeah, I think they're on board.
Those guys are awesome. I mean, if you want the premier products. Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
No, we've got some guys really shaking the bushes out there, and they brought some nice sponsors in, which we'll definitely announce all of them once we get everything finalized. But yeah, I mean, things are moving very quickly, moving fast. Our season schedule is out there, and I think we've got a surprise at the end of the season. So we haven't worked that out yet, though.
Oh, do we want to talk about that?
Well, we can talk about it if you'd like.
Let's just keep rolling. We'll keep rolling. We'll get back to that.
Okay. So what else?
Tell me. You are you're the one talking about barbecue, George Barbecue. What about banquet? Is there a banquet coming up?
There is a banquet. Yes, there's going to be an awards banquet that's going to be right after the Cooks class in Duluth, Georgia, Taco Mac, from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. That'll be February the 12th.
Who is that open to?
That is open to all GBC members, and the meal is provided. But anyone can come. If you have a GBC 2021 membership, like I said, the food is provided. Anyone that'd like to come and participate with us is $15 per ticket. And there'll be a link out there to sign up for that. You should see a banner fairly quick also. A banner should be going up.
Perfect. Chris, Chef, we only like winners here. But other than that, it's cool. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, I'd love to have you. You're the man. You don't know, if you haven't used heavy smoke stuff, white label, black label, whatever, you're missing out. Some of the best products in the world. Chris Schaefer, you the man. We sell them. All right. So I've got everybody on now. And I tell you what, Scott, I am proud of you. You have put together a class that you got some really good cooks. You got 3 really good cooks and then a barbecue internet guy.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty awesome what you've done, what you've been able to accomplish. But hey, I was just curious. Do you think that Angry Jack guy will be at the banquet?
I hope he's there. He's a tough one. He's kind of like Santa Claus.
He is incredible. That's Sean Turkey said. He is a great guy. I mean, if you don't know Sean with Angry Jack, you're missing out because Sean is the man. He's muted, but he's going to take that thing off in just a second, and he's going to introduce himself. Sean, how are you doing, my man?
Is that better?
That's much better. That's much better.
I'm just listening to you. I'm not really that popular on the internet. I don't think so. I don't know.
No, so you must be the good cook then.
No. I don't know.
I tell you what, I'm proud of this guy right here. Sean with Angry Jack. Every time we are friends with we love going out to the Royal. Every time I go out to the Royal, and this guy is a hero of mine. Every single time this guy makes it to the Royal, boom, Angry Jack. They know him out there. Everybody knows
one call. Yeah, one call.
Hey, one call is a big deal.
It is a big deal. It is a big deal. I can only get one call though, so you need more than one.
Yeah, you do need more than one. That table didn't like. Oh, what we got here? I thought it was a. But anyway, so Sean, what are you going to be teaching at the class?
I think Scott said I got to teach brisket.
That's it.
So,
I'm excited.
Whatever that means. Whatever that means. You know, and it's not super complicated, right? It's pretty easy. I don't know if anyone will like it, but it's not really
I'll tell you what do you think, real quick, and then I'm going to bring on the other two guests in here in just a second. What is one little nugget that you think what got you over the top to be the best brisket cook in the state of Georgia this year?
That's a good question.
I only ask the best.
Tenderness.
Tenderness.
I believe what I think is perfect is not what scores as perfect. So it took a little while to figure out where that zone was. And so, yeah, that would be in a nugget.
And you're going to share that at the class, right, Sean?
Sure.
Yeah. I got a question for you on that in a little bit that we'll get into later on. All right, now I'm going to bring on.
I'm excited. Let me plug the other two guys real quick. I'm excited because, you know, I don't know how well everyone in the Southeast knows these guys, right? These guys, Mark and Colby. These are the two of the guys who are knocking on the door to just go win like crazy. And I don't think anyone in this area gets more 180s than these two guys. Right. So if you haven't heard about them, if you haven't, you know, cooked in this area, I mean, these are a couple of guys to follow. They're, I tell you what, every contest they're getting 180s. It's crazy. So I'm excited to see what they're cooking and what they're doing.
Who you want me to bring on next?
They figured it out. So
which one you
let
want?
it rip.
Which one?
I don't know. Bring on Mark.
I'm going to bring in Colby.
Mark.
I'm going to bring in Colby. I'm going to say this about Colby Bowers. Colby Bowers is the guy. If you were looking for pork, he not only dominated ribs, he had pork dominated until I came in and until I stole it from him there at the end. But I tell you what, this guy, I mean, if it was a pork or a rib category, he was there. He was there. Colby, you are the man when it came to pork.
Far from it. Far from it. Little beginner's luck's never seemed to go a little ways, but
do I have any domes in stock? I don't know what a dome is. I don't know. All right. And then so Colby, rolling Colbs, killing it. I agree with everything Sean said. And the guy that I want to say, Sean, Scott, you could probably answer this. The chicken guy smoked everybody. Didn't he win by, didn't he just?
Oh, yeah, big time. I mean, he was, no one could even catch him.
Yeah, there was this. I mean, he had this thing won, and there wasn't even, Sean.
I think he was a top 15 overall in KCBS, and he only cooked about a dozen contests. And in chicken, that is really, I think it's really hard to do, right?
Unheard of. Such
a competitive category.
Yeah,
he can tell you the details, but I know he absolutely crushed it. Again, he's got a handful of 180 pins, I'm sure, and again, he's knocking on the door to just start winning all the time. I mean, he's right there. So
if you don't know Mark Weatherall with Maya Jane, you are missing out on probably one of the. I mean, he is the premier cook down here, right? Like
I don't know about that.
I know about it. He could tell you about it. He is a Rec Tech Academy instructor. So those guys don't just ask anybody to do it. They ask the best of the best. Mark, tell us about look behind him, guys. Look at all at all of those trophies and everything behind him. That's a winner.
It's my. Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm fighting a COVID cold, but I'm actually in my wife's office in my son's YouTube studio. So I got like the ring light, all the fancy equipment, everything set up. But no, it was cool. Thanks for having me on, Brian. Happy New Year to you guys. And, it's awesome to be a part of you, Colby and Sean and Brian, Mr. Port King himself. So it's awesome.
What I am. I'm an internet pundit. That's about all I am.
Nobody knows me either. So, but no, I mean, we had a good year in chicken. I mean, it was, I don't know. I practiced a lot. About this time last off season, I practiced pretty much every weekend. That's what I was doing. And, everybody knows chicken's cheap, and just try to dial in my process and settle on my rubs and my methods and techniques and a good sauce recipe, I guess. Sean knows, and just I don't know. I just
Mark,
worked.
Mark let me try his chicken quite a bit,
Yeah.
And I could kind of give him a read. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was
so
you knew it was going to be a tough day because it was like it's pretty good, and I'm pretty. I can be pretty tough and pretty, what I think is pretty honest with folks, and his chicken's pretty good.
So Sean tried my chicken 3 times this year. We haven't cooked together or side by side, I think 3 or 4 times this year. He tried it 3 times, first place twice and second place once. So I'm chucking him chicken every time I see him just to try my chicken. So I credit him. But Colby, man, you've been on fire, and I'm, trying to keep up with you too, dude. So, you killed it this year, and really being your first year cooking pro, and you kicked butt, man. That's awesome. So congrats on your year.
I appreciate it. Same to you, man. It was definitely something. I mean, I was shocked myself a little bit, and kind of the same thing. Just, man, we went into sipping swine, and we actually cooked that contest backyard, and really, I mean, kick myself now for doing it. I wish I would have just went ahead, but same deal. Start of the year, I mean, I bet I cooked a month solid, chicken like crazy every chance. And I mean, just really going at it, trying to figure some stuff up. But man, I'll be real honest with you. The class last year, the GBC class with Sean and Alan and those guys, I mean, for a guy that had cooked, I did just a couple backyards with everything that was going on. I mean, and then that being the first class I ever did, I mean, I learned a tremendous amount sitting on the other side of that table. So, I mean, I got to kind of commend those guys along with, a bunch of other people, but, I can really say that class ultimately had a big role of getting me to the other side of the table this time. Teaching this category. So it's been fun, man. I love it. I'm addicted, 2 years and
the same thing.
We ain't slowing up.
Anthony, I'm gonna ask you a question real quick, but I do want to give a little bit of credit to Sean. Sean took this GBC class last year and stepped up the game on this class to where it was one of the premier classes it's been. The GBC has always done a really good job with classes. Sean took it over last year and single-handedly made this a premier event, made it something that you need to be at. And Sean, I want to thank you for what you did last year. And I know that was last year and this and the other. And Scott's now on board and taking and running with it. But what you did with this class last year, Sean, really helped a lot of people. I've had a lot of people talk about that class and being one of the better classes. And of course you cooked in it. I think you've cooked in it every year. That's just how good you are. But good job on that and way to go. I think
I appreciate it. And I think this hasn't been talked about before on the show. The cost is what we believe very affordable, right? $400 a seat. And us as cooks are all donating our time. So all of the proceeds go back to the GBC. So if you cook in this area, you sign up for the GBC and you cook, I mean, you have the opportunity to essentially win your money back at the end of the year, right? So it's all volunteer on our part. I think we all, at least my perspective has been, you go in saying, I'm going to hold a little bit back, but once you kind of get in the spirit of the class, you're just going with it, right? This is our opportunity to kind of give back to other folks that are just, we're trying to grow the sport, grow the hobby, whatever it is. And I think as Mark, as all of us, I think know, it's really, it is hard to win these categories. I mean, this is, in Georgia, there's not really those cooks that go out and roll 35, 40 contests, right? But there's a lot of really good cooks that do 10 to 15, and it's tough. I mean, so you tip your hat. You tip your hat. Last year it was, under the radar, and Chewin, Stewin, and Brewin, 2 people who have won a lot of times. And this year, I mean, it's exciting now that, we've got some new faces that are kind of part of this next wave of folks that are kind of coming on. So
I think
I'm excited for it, and I'm excited for all of the other, yourself include all the cooks that are cooking, because it's a good group that, again, get comfortable with the names. I think you'll be hearing a lot more from Mark and Colby and yourself. So
you'll get mine just for Monday nights. But I think one thing about this is it's very much a representation of what's going on in Georgia barbecue and probably barbecue as a whole. You're seeing the new guys come in and really taking a hold of things. I mean, you look at Chris Schaefer, right? He's been cooking around, but he's like going after it. Now Chris Schaefer he's the guy that's going out there trying to really go for it. You got Hold Your Horses out there trying, he's out there really going. So you got a whole new crew coming in. And just like in Georgia, Roland Cole's 1 year in pro. Maya Jane, I mean, he's been I have a feeling he's just going to be the guy that just blows everybody away. But let's get into it. Let's get into chicken. Anthony Mendes wants to know, legs or thighs, and is there a shift in what the judges are looking for?
Well, I mean, I do legs personally, and I don't know. It's one of those things like it kind of going back to what Colby said is, the only 2 classes I ever taken, it was the GBC classes. So in 2018 and 2019, so I took those classes, and I think I did 4 contests before I took that GBC class, and I was cooking thighs and just doing the cupcake pan method, and it wasn't working. It wasn't good, but I was still relatively new to the whole comp scene. So I really wasn't like, I don't know. I had no idea. But at that class, I remember yesteryear, Frank and Chad, they taught drumsticks, and it just looked easy with the prep work and, stepping a couple tendons and brining, and really it's just an easy process. So, and I didn't really want to scrape chicken skins. And so I went with that method, and honestly, I haven't looked back. Now I had some issues with previous cookers trying to cook these legs and blowing out. And, I think I'd bring 20 to 22 to a comp, and I'd cross my fingers if I have 6 to make a turning box. It was a nightmare. But then I kind of switched to the drums and the Rectex and just kind of a little bit of a drier heat. And I was able to, cut down, bringing, 20 to a comp, and I'm down to like 12. And now I have a problem figuring out which ones to turn in. So it's a good thing. But yeah, so Anthony, I don't know. I think a lot of people cook legs here in the South. I mean, I don't know. It's just easy. It's easy for me, and and I'm working on thighs here and there, but I'm sticking with legs for now.
There you go. And guys, I want all you whoever, I want y'all to feel free to ask any questions. Sean, feel free to ask. Colby, if you got any questions we're going to talk chicken here for a second. If you got any questions that you want to talk to Mark about, by all means, ask away. So
hit me up, anybody. I don't know. I don't, like Brian said, I, teach the rec tech and stuff. And I don't know. I like teaching. It's fun. It's, it's cool, sharing. Now I'm, I ain't gonna lie. I'm nervous, next month, because now, I've seen the content or some of the lists of the people that are coming to the cook class, and I'm scared. I'm a little nervous. It's one of those things, like I haven't, like I said, I taught, teach students who don't like compete, who aren't going to go out competing and stuff. And then I've really never been in this spot, like to turn around and, teaching guys that I compete with, 12 to 14 times a year, and even backyard teams who we got a great group of backyard cooks in Georgia that are knocking on the door, and I know they all kick butt in chicken. And so this could be interesting, but I'm looking forward to it. And like Sean said, I want to help everybody. I want Georgia barbecue to succeed, and it'll be fun. But yeah, I'm looking at comments too. I'm a brine guy. I've always brine. I think injecting it's messy, and I'm not a messy guy. I just don't like, I don't know. I don't like it. But yeah.
There you go. Colby, what you got for Mark or Sean?
I was thinking Brian versus inject too, but I don't know. I guess it would be, I'm a can guy. So yeah. Of course, for me, you got to char it up to make it taste like it's off the grill and all that. Just pointless crap. That's not worth anything. But, I cooked, I started cooking chicken on a pellet smoker. And I guess for me, would kind of be, you know, like as far as on a drum, you know, like I get hung up on, you know, no wood, no smoke. So on a pellet cooker, you know, you really don't have that option. So what kind of flavors, I guess, on wood?
Sure.
Pellet
Yeah.
smoker would you roll?
So I mean, you guys, you know, you see me at a comp. I'm kind of neurotic at times. So I have my Hunsakers. I'm a Hunsaker guy. And then I have the Rectech 590, RT 590. And so I use their pellets. It's the ultimate pellet blend, which, I don't know, Brian, correct me, but I think it's like a red oak, white oak, hickory or something or other. But I start my chicken there in the Rectech, 275. It's just, I can put it in there for about an hour or so. I don't have to worry about it. You know, I might rotate it here and there, but really it's just
all the secrets.
Oh, that's true. Okay. But so
Say
class. You got to reel him in. You got to sign up for the class.
Yeah, sign up for the class.
If you want to get all the information.
Yes, that's true. But so I end up switching to my drum like halfway through, and it's just because when I wrap ribs go to the Rectech, and it's a whole crazy ass process. But for those that have the Hunsaker, you got a Vortex, right? And so that's my rib cooker. So I don't have like a separate chicken cooker. I don't know. Like when I pull my drums out of the trailer, I go by whatever's got 2 racks and it's my brisket, and you know, I don't know. I don't have like named drums for each meat and stuff. So, but I'll take that basket out, and I'll take the wood out. So I don't, you know, I'll just kind of run charcoal and scrape up all the rib bits and stuff that's on the Vortex plate. And so I kind of like to have cleaner smoke, I guess. So, you know, but you're using that good Royal Oak fuel charcoal, get some flavor.
Look at there.
If you could see this guy rotating between the Rectech and the Hunt, I mean, I have no idea what he's doing over there. So, I mean, if he had to teach a 4-meat class, it would be
as much juggling as anything, right? Like you got to learn how to juggle before you can learn how to cook.
And I'm not complaining. I don't know. Nobody knows. Maybe that's part of the plan.
It's part of his
Nobody knows what he's doing.
When I told Scott, like,
you two are the same way. I mean, I got 2 of you on here that are like, you juggle everything around. You do everything. It's like smoke and mirrors, so nobody knows exactly what's going to happen.
My mom and dad, they're big help, and you guys seen Barb and Larry. They're at every comp, and they're big helps. But I cooked next to Scott in November at the GBC, and so I kind of gave him a heads up, like I'll be pacing and walking a hole in the grass, like just back and forth. But yeah, it's fun.
One thing I want to say, and Sean, I'll let you get. I know you got something that you want to ask. What I love about this is you got different personalities, right? I mean, look at Mark. He's got his hat on backwards. He's ready to kick butt, take names, and then go win, right? I mean, look at him. I mean, he just looks like a winner. And then you've got Sean up here in the top right, who just, I mean, he knows he is the stuff.
We're all chasing Sean.
Sean's in the top corner.
Nobody knows me. I'm gonna kick every one of your butt and just move on. And then you got me over here just asking questions. And then you got Dad up here in the middle, and or behaving. You know, it's kind of what that's his job. Is that you guys put on the best class possible, right? I mean, he's the principal.
Absolutely.
Sean, so what were you going to ask?
I was just going to say that Mark's chicken is just and this is I'm sure you're going to expect this. It's just a good, well balanced piece of chicken, right?
That's all I want to hear.
It's not too much of anything, right? It's like it's just good right down the middle. It's just a good, flavorful piece of chicken. It's not spicy. It's not too sweet. It's not too anything. It's just like you bite it and it's like that'll hunt, right? Yep. That'll be in the mix, and that's how I would describe it. So again, this whole going from a pellet to whatever, fine. Right. It's just a good piece of chicken. What's that?
Don't offend anybody. Anthony's right. All right, so now that we got the chicken guy, and I'm telling you guys, this guy. He's very coy right now. Oh, I'm nervous about all these guys. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go in there and show everybody. This is why I kick your butt every weekend, because of this. But anyway, Colby, let's talk about ribs. All right, man. Like I said before, and Scott, we've talked about this a good bit. Mm-hmm. Colby has come on board, and the dude, if it is a rib or a pork category, he's going to kick your butt and laugh at you when he's done. I mean, it is amazing watching him. You know that he's going up there at the end to steal the money. And it is so cool to see because this is coming from a guy, like he said, cooked backyard last year, took the class, and I'm going to give him he's practiced and practiced and practiced and honed his skills, right? Like that's one thing that you're going to hear a lot about these guys. They practice and they hone their skills. But Colby, you got to admit it. You're killing it in all categories, but especially the 2 pork whack categories.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's
right?
Barbecue. I mean, for me, barbecue's BBQ. It might be BBQ, but it stands for adapt and overcome. I mean, that's what it ultimately, for me, at least in the trailer. I mean, you know, I got started because my father-in-law, he cooked forever since like 2004 on the backyard or on the pro side, and he ended up opening the restaurant. So, I mean, I just opened the doors. He was very nice enough to let me say, hey, you go play while we run the restaurant and use this to your advantage, you know, have fun. And so that's one thing he always told me. I mean, I would golly, I'd beat myself up. I mean, I'd be the first person to tell you. And the one thing he always told me, and it's stuck with me the whole time, is you've got to be able to adapt and overcome when it hits the fan, because it's not a matter of when or what. I mean, it's going to happen, and you got to be able to adjust it when it does. And I mean, I think that's what for me has kind of kept me in it. You know, just when something doesn't go the way it maybe is supposed to, and cooking on these cans, if anybody's ever cooked on them, you know, they don't just run perfect every day. So, but they, you know, you just got to be able to kind of just lay low. I mean, for me, I mean, I'm the new guy, really. I mean, I don't know anybody. I mean, people come up to the trailer and stuff like that, and I promise I'm not that guy that's just don't want to talk to anybody. I don't really know a lot of people. And, you know, for me, it costs too much to just go play around, you know. I mean, like I want to win. I'm competitive, and I'm not – I'll tell anybody. But with that, I mean, for me, as a 26-year-old, you know, you got to hang your humble hat too. You know, you got to win and win gracefully, because next week, I mean, you're cooking in the Southeast with some of the best people. I mean, they're right here on the screen with me, and when they're coming for you. When you win, you got a target on your back that's bigger than it was the week before. And so, you know, you got to do your job and try and do everything you can, you know, to keep it going. So it's a fun game. I love it. I can't get enough of it. If they had a 1 meter tomorrow, I'd probably be there. So, especially if it was ribs.
Of course. Of course.
So,
Mark, you just were under the hot seat, so I'll let you. Well, you know what? Poor Scott hadn't asked any question. I know he's been.
Come on, Scott.
This is his brainchild here.
Oh no, I just can't wait for the class. I mean, look at this. Look at these 4, the best of the best. So no, I'm excited. I can't wait for the class to come. This great group of guys. I mean, all 4 of you know each other, respect each other. Y'all are all great cooks. Like I said, the best of the best. So I mean, how could you pass up on this? You know, I'm very excited to be a part of this. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Well, I'm definitely excited to learn ribs, because my ribs
Me
went
too.
way backwards in 21. I mean, I don't know what happened. I ran same rub, same sauce, same method, same cooker, everything in 21, and I couldn't, or that I did in 2020, and I think I had 4 rib calls, I think, this year or something like that. And I tied Sean last year for first in GBC, and I think I finished 12th this year. It was rough. I don't know what happened. So I'm looking forward to picking up some tips.
yeah, we were RGC. We RGC'd the backyard side at Sip and Swine, and that was the 2nd year in a row we had done that. And I finished 2nd to last in ribs this past year. And I don't know how many racks of ribs we bought from there to the next one, but I just couldn't. I couldn't. It just got to me, and it just comes down to, gotta find some tweaking and doing because it was burning me up. So.
Hey, Kobe, I do have a question for you. For those that are competing in backyard that are thinking about moving up, I mean, what advice would you give them?
Do it. Don't.
Just do it.
I can tell you, I mean, from cooking both sides now, there's enough people on that backyard side. It's very intimidating. I mean, especially if you haven't been doing it long, there's a fence and you're like, man, I really want to go, but I don't know if I want to go, and then you do like me and you go and then you get DQ'd in a and it just like, it all goes south and you go back to the trailer and you're like, this was the dumbest thing I've ever done. But if you like it, if you truly have a grind for it, you'll find a way. And it comes back to the adapt and overcome. I mean, for me, I went to Alabama, got DQ'd. it was awful. And then I was like, never again. So, and that's just what you got to do. I mean, for me, but knowing the people that we cooked with on the backyard side, I can tell you right now, there's probably a solid 5 to 10 of them that can easily go buy a brisket and cook with us, and you're going to hear their name called in the top 10. So, I mean, it's one more meat, treated like a pork butt. I mean, something. It's just a big meat, I mean, it's intimidating because it costs a lot. Well, I can cook a prime one or I can cook a Wagyu. If I mess a Wagyu up or I mess up a prime, it doesn't matter, I mean, we cooked 2 Wagyus last year all year. I wasn't super proud of what we did in brisket, but yeah, there was 1 or 2 contests. It kept me out of it, real squeal. I mean, I got kind of buried up. I got beat up there a little bit in brisket, and that kept me out of winning grand. But, it was an RGC the first year, I mean, like I'm on cloud 9. Put it in the truck. Let's go to the house. We'll worry about 2022 next year. I mean, it's not every day that's going to happen. I mean, and so, you just have to, I mean, for me as a backyard cook now, looking back on it, if there's backyard cooks watching, and I think there are a few, if you're on the fence, do it. Because the first time you go cook and you finish 5th in chicken and win more than you did for winning reserve grand on the backyard side, it's not about the money, but it sure does feel a lot better. I'll just be honest with you. Because at least you're taking something home and putting gas in the tank to get back home.
There you go.
So, I mean, it does. It doesn't seem like much, and you're definitely not doing it for money. But
can y'all tell why this guy is the up-and-coming dude in Georgia? I'm going to tell you right now, $100 is the name to look out for. If you want to learn, this could possibly be the last opportunity that you get somebody of this guy's. I mean, he's going to be there. He's going to be doing classes on his own really soon.
No.
Y'all be on the lookout for this cat.
Long time for that.
I tell you what. What do you think, Sean? What do you think about this guy?
Look, I mean, like I said, I mean, I remember sipping swine, right? And then, when somebody comes up in pro and you're like, okay, and you hear the name called, it's like, okay, good, good, like, hey, good for him. You clap, and all of a sudden, like, next contest rips up a couple another good calls. It's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, wait a minute.
Who is this cat?
Who's this guy, right? And then, like I said, back half of the year, it was every contest.
You're on fire.
Rolling coals. Yep.
180. It's like, shit, I can't buy a 180. This guy's like, again, getting a whole little baggie full of them. Here we go.
Yeah. That 180 was with me.
That's how my father-in-law, he's cooked forever. And he was with us at Sip and Swine, and, we 180 chicken on the backyard side, and he's like, you got to be kidding me. It's like, I've been cooking forever. Never have I ever got a 180. And then he goes, we go to Savannah, 180 ribs, and he's like, are you serious right now? Like, what is going on? Then Kennesaw with 180 pork. Yeah. And he's like, what do they just hand those things out like candy now or something? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, man, that's awesome.
To these guys on this screen, they do, other than this guy.
I mean, so it's I don't know, as a, like we were talking about earlier, being on the fence and having that in the back of your mind of, well, it's just a little bit scary, but seeing these guys right here, every single person on the screen, when you walk away, and you do get that 180, and Brian's the first person after he just finished second behind you in pork, he could easily be like, oh, no, but he's right there. Hey man, congratulations. I mean, Sean walked up to me when we won ribs. I mean, Mark's always, Scott, every time he sees you. I mean, that goes a long way, and it makes it a whole lot more fun. And it just knows that the guy, you surrounded yourself with good people.
Yeah. I mean, we all like getting calls and winning and all that. But I mean, I'm super happy I'm excited for you guys to get calls. And, we got a good group in Georgia. And it's, we compete, like I said, like every, we have 10 GBC, or how many GBC contests? We got eight or nine every year.
Yeah, we got 10 this year.
10, okay. But it's like it's the same 20 cooks most of the time that we're cooking with all the time. And I think it's great. I love it when you guys get calls and, and it's just fun. I cheer for everybody. Yeah, so I want to get up there as well. And I know, Colby, I mean, you caught fire, man. And I kind of like, was it Pigs and Peaches, maybe Kennesaw? And I knew you. I saw you up there, and I kept hearing your name call. I'm like, damn. It's like, this guy's leapfrogging me. He's kicking ass. And then Savannah was like nuts. And I'm proud of you, man. It's awesome. And I got to chat with you quite a bit at Lions, and just, it's just fun just talking with everybody and learning what you're doing and everything. And just, I don't know, it's fun. It's good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Colby's dad, Kerry, he is a great guy too. He's always there with you. He seems to be always there right beside you, working hard and doing everything else too. Lincoln Andrews, Go-To Barbecue, first pro contest will be Classic City in Athens. You go, boy.
All right.
Say that again, Colby.
I said move up because you're too good.
I know. I told him.
That's one of those five guys I was talking about.
Yeah.
There's quite a few of them. I'll tell you what, it's fun to watch. Edward Smoke, he's one that's in there.
I think if the Pit Vipers, they make the move, I'm just going to quit.
That's why I left, because I was tired of getting beat by kids. I'll be honest with you. Whew, they will beat you up on that backyard side, man. I'm telling you. They're extreme. I commend Tom. I haven't really got to talk to Tom a lot.
He's awesome.
Man, I will tell you, that guy and what he's doing right there, I mean, those kids they're special. And they've got it going on up there, no doubt.
They really are, I'll tell you what. Well, everybody knows you got to be a dang good brisket cook if you want to win anything.
Yep.
True that.
And I think, nothing against you two. You two guys are rock stars. Chicken, you got to win chicken to give yourself a chance. Ribs, you got to be there, right? You got to be in it. You can't screw those up. But brisket is the one that gets you there. And if Scott did anything, he was fortunate enough to have Angry Jack be the brisket cook, because that is what everybody is, that is he made it out like, oh, just go cook it, get the tenderness right. It ain't that easy. And this guy knows what he's doing. And if there's somebody that's got a wealth of knowledge in cooking barbecue, Sean Trickestad with Angry Jack Barbecue is the guy. He is worth the class. These two other guys, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Chad Stewart's like, oh my God. Kerry Chastain's like, oh, that guy. He is the guy that came in there and said, y'all think y'all got this? Watch this. Boom. Here it is. Goes in there, wins it, and he's the man. Nothing, Kerry and Chad, the only reason I said it because I saw you're on there. But I will say this. Angry Jack, Sean, all of these guys are all good friends of mine. I'm very blessed to be friends with every one of them. Sean is the dude. I mean, he is the man. He is worth the price of admission just to talk to this cat. So, Sean, what's up, bud? I mean, you're it. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm going to teach something. I know it doesn't work in the Kansas City area. So whatever you learned, don't take it to the Royal, because it will not score there. That I can guarantee you.
Hey, you got to get to the Royal though. And in order to get to the Royal, you got to win here wherever you cook at home, right? Wherever your home cook is.
I know. I probably should go to a class and learn like Plan B that I can use when I get out there.
I'll tell you what, Wes Garrett.
Plan A doesn't work.
That guy put on a show. But anyway, so tell us a little bit about Scott. Why don't you go ahead and ask some questions for this superstar?
All right, Sean, tell us a little about what you're going to teach us in the class.
You put it on a smoker and you wrap it, and then you probe it, and then it's done, and that's it.
That's it.
Do you rest it?
No, let's see. What am I going to teach? I don't know. I cook A9s, right? I have no problem with snake river farms. If they're in my opinion, they're slightly different, but both very, very good. There's nothing wrong with either, right? You can't go wrong with either, but I do cook A9s. And that's just because consistently everyone I get is a keeper, right? So I never have to worry about it. I've worked hard on brisket, right? It's been the one that's probably, there's a difference between scoring okay and scoring good enough to get you over the top, right? And that, so there's a difference between a 171 and a 175. That's, the difference between maybe a top 3 and a top 10. So I've worked hard. I have made, at some point this year, I probably stopped tweaking, but I continued to refine and tweak small, little things. Look at the score sheet. What is it telling you? Is it, is it flavor? Is it tenderness? Just look at it. One contest doesn't make a trend, right? But you can start to get a theme after a little while and kind of just start dialing it in and be honest. Be your own worst critic, and that's kind of what I've done. And towards the end, at some point during the year, finally, I think got a process and everything kind of just settled on that I kind of consistently kept running with. So
let me ask you a question, and I'm gonna let these other 3 guys go for it. Brisket is what holds everybody back from going to backyard to pro. Do you think that one category should stop somebody from, or do you think there's enough for you to learn that you could make that jump?
Make the jump. I mean, so this question, I got asked this question the other day by somebody. I said, what do you think is the easiest thing to cook? And I said, brisket. And they're like, wow, what are you eating brisket? And it's like, well, I don't know. To me, maybe the world.
I agree.
After a while, the
Me
world
too.
starts to slow down. It doesn't seem so complicated anymore, and it's just for me. It's been tweaking, like I said, the tenderness, right? Because, and just to give it up, what I think is perfect with that, where it just drapes and just. I think I've learned that that's overdone, right? Which I think is a little bit crazy, but. So when you get your slices, I kind of dialed where I was pulling from a little bit, and that's the difference between a 10th place and a more 5th place briskets, or top 5s, whatever. But
this is something you're not going to get every day, guys. I'm telling you, what the information that these 3 guys have is absolutely amazing. You're going to learn the best of the best techniques, what it takes. The thing that Colby said, adapt and overcome. I promise you that all 3 of these guys, and not me included, I'll help a little bit. They're going to tell you what to do when you have it. Look, we just put on a class. We had 4 of the best cooks in the country, and Scott was there. Every one of them had a problem. Every one of them had an issue, and they adapt and they overcame and they made it good. That's what Sean is sitting here saying is know what to do.
Yeah. I mean, you get the briskets that are, the tenderness is off from end to end, and sometimes you get them off from side to side. What do you do, right? Those are the days that I'm out, those are the days I'm pacing in the grass like Mark is, or I'm pacing around and jabbing that thing till it's like, it's way past dead at that point, right? That thing's like, I've jacquarded the thing by the time it's done, as I'm trying to figure out when's the right time. If anyone on here knows what I'm talking about, left to right, when they're, you got tenderness kind of from side to side is different. Yeah. Those are the days I'm stressing, right? Why does it do that? I don't know. Maybe Kevin Green can come on here and tell us why it does that. I have no idea.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you got to know. Most people don't even think to ask that kind of question. But I've talked enough. Mark, Colby,
sure.
You're up.
I'll jump in real quick. Like brisket for me, like last first half of the year, it killed me. I know it cost me 2 GCs for a fact. I got DQ'd on a brisket. So it was just always it was just in here. It was annoying and frustrating. And I think you asked earlier, some of the backyard teams are, I've heard, I've talked to a lot of them. Some say the same thing. It's well, do I have to cook a Wagyu? Can I cook a prime? I've walked with primes this year, and then I cooked a couple primes at a double contest, and one I got DQ'd on. That was great. And the next day I cooked it bad, and I got 20th, almost last, and it cost me a GC. I remember Sean told me, he's stop cooking primes. I mean, there is that point where you get, it's okay, you probably should cook with a Wagyu, but if you cook a good prime, and I think if you hit the tenderness, I think you can do well on. And I guess my process, I felt like I got better towards the last half of the year, and I just really focused and talked with Sean and Carrie with Hold Your Horses, been a big help with me, and teaching those rec tech classes with him and some of the Texas boys. They helped me with my brisket, and so I got a lot of help from them. But it's right, it's just learning how to gauge that tenderness and just adapt and overcome and kind of finish on the cutting board. And so yeah, but I'm excited to learn from Sean again, some good brisket tips too. So
awesome.
Well, Brian, tell us a little bit about your pork.
Yeah.
Tell us about
We're
your
not going to skip out over that now.
If you want to cook the best pork you've ever cooked in your life, and you want to turn in the best pork you've ever had, come to the class. I'll teach it to you, and you will be wowed. No, I'm just kidding. I'm completely.
Do you really burn your pork? Is it really burnt?
Has anybody been by that? Has anybody? Let's see. Is Bill with Triple H on here today? Is Paul with Rooters and Tutors on? Yeah, I do. If it didn't chart, if it didn't a little black, it ain't right. That's for me. And I have there he is. Bill said it. Okay. And I showed them, and I've had a lot of people look, it's golden brown. Oh, it's almost there. And they're like, no, it's there. I'm like, okay, yeah. For my process, what I do, but see, I'm the guy that's also, I like to turn in bacon, right? I'm that guy. So I like turning bacon. I like turning money muscles. And now the whole thing is I'm going to start practicing. If anybody's familiar with the pork rule.
Yeah, pork collars, right?
Whatever.
So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to
I'm going to continue to do my same process, because I beat you with that process before, when most people are only turning in money muscles anyway. Yes. I'm going to turn in the same pieces, right? That's me. And I am going, and I'm going to tell you why I do what I do. I'm going to tell you why I think it's the best thing. There are times where I just turn in money muscle, but I feel like I would like to be able to turn in some more. And it's dark. It is. And I tell you what, I mean, join the class and you'll see why I do what I do, how I do it. I will tell you one thing. Maple syrup. It's a long way, I tell you what. But that's just something that, I've been fortunate enough to know. We know a lot of people, right? We know a lot of people in the barbecue world. And I think I have poo-pooed myself enough to people feel sorry for me. And I do believe people will give me some information. I've got a lot of information, and I've been able to take a lot of different information from a lot of different teams and bring it in together, and come together what I feel like has been a very good pork recipe. And it's not super complicated, and I'm not going to say I burn the pork. It's not burnt. It's not burnt. It is past golden. So, but that's just me. And I mean,
so is it based upon barbecue league techniques and recipe, or is it kind of your own?
Good question.
It is not the barbecue leagues. Okay. Of course, if you're cooking on cans and you want to win, you're going to do some sort of something or another with the barbecue league. I don't know if Colby would agree with that, but hey, that's kind of if you're cooking on cans, there's so much information out there. You might as well go ahead and take it and use it and utilize it to yourself. But I'm pretty sure, Bill. I'm pretty sure it's not burnt. It might be a little on the dark side, but it's. It was funny.
Hey, you know what? I'll report back after the class. I'll send a note out letting you know. Like, we'll try to validate if it is burnt, because it sounds like it might be burnt.
So Bill came over, right? And Bill Triple H, great guy, incredible cook, world class, world champion.
Oh, he's one of the best in the country. Absolutely.
World champion, right? He comes over and he's like, Brian, I think you burnt your pork. I was like, it's not quite where I want it yet. He's like, oh, turned around and walked away. I was like, what? He's like, man, I would be nervous. I was like, well, that's okay. I was like, I think he's just trying to get in my head. So you got to watch some of these guys. I mean, Mark, he's all about there. I think that's his game, is like, he's so nervous. He's a nervous Nelly over there that he's trying to screw Scott. He was trying to screw Scott up. Like, watch this. If I pace enough, I'm going to get Scott off his game. I mean, I think that's part of the game and everything else. And Sean's pretty good about that too. I was very fortunate enough to be able to beat Bill that day with that burnt pork that he was like, I would start over with. Paul with Rooters and Tutors, man, he's been there and he's like, Brian, you're making me nervous. I'm like, man, I know. I'm not as good of a cook as y'all, so I'm just gonna roll. And you know what?
So then you just drowned it in what, butter and maple syrup, and it's delicious, or what?
I'm telling you what, if maple syrup is not in your recipe for pork, it will be by the time you get done with this class. And
should we buy stock in it? Do we need to buy a farm? Do we need to buy stock?
You're just going to use a little bit. Just a pinch in there to make it work. But hey, you know what? I think it's been a change, and it's just something that you got to do to enhance the flavor. Paul's got his enhancer. Who knows? It could be something that we utilize here. So is that what the question is when it comes to Atlanta barbecue stores? Pork is like, oh, that dude burns his pork. Is that what it is? Is that what the talk of the town is?
That's what you've told me.
Every time I ask, it's always overcooked.
Well, let me ask you this, Brian. I mean, do you think this whole pork collar thing is this gonna be a new thing? I mean,
it's not a new.
Is that
thing.
is that a half a butt? I don't even know what it is. I should know, but I don't.
The pork collar is basically the money muscle, right? It's the money muscle.
Oh, okay.
It's just their way of. It's going to be super expensive, so I don't know if anybody's going to want to go buy just the pork collar. And it's just like, buy the whole thing. And I will say this: when the best of the best are out there saying, "I don't care, I'm going to keep doing it the way I've always done it," you might want to listen to what they do. You got so many people out there crying, whining, and it's so annoying to hear. Oh, now I got to cook 6 to 8 pork bucks. So what? So what? Do it. If you want to win, do what it takes to win. Quit complaining.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Here's my take on this, because I when the first rule came out, I had the same reaction. I go, oh, what? Here we go. It's just we're grilling everything. But ask yourself: Do you have to cook a whole chicken? No. Do you have to cook the whole brisket? No. Do you have so? Why is pork any different? So I think that was the quick thought process I went through. Like, there you go, right? Cook what you want.
Well, my question is, Sean, do you buy a Packer brisket?
Yeah.
Martin, do you buy a Packer brisket?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Colby, do you buy a Packer brisket? Yeah. Scott, do you cook a Packer brisket?
Yep.
Yeah. I buy a Packer brisket. Guess what? I don't cook burn ends. I don't turn them in.
Yeah.
Colby doesn't apparently turn in burn ends either. Mark, what about you? Do you turn in burn ends?
Yeah, occasionally if they're there, I'll
Well,
put them in. My
let's put
dad's
them
always the
brisket.
judge on that one. So.
Sean, how often do you turn in burn ends?
Find out in 2 weeks.
There you go. Right. So why do we all complain about this whole pork thing when most people are buying a Packer brisket, throwing away half the brisket? They do it because it gives them the best chance to win. Do what it takes to win, man. Do it.
Sure.
If you just want to cook money muscle, turn in money muscle, by God, do it. Right. Like, roll with it. That's me. Whatever.
Yeah.
I hope that the money. I saw a thread today about the pork rule and this and the other. And if you don't have a restaurant, then you're behind. Well, whatever. I mean, if you, it's one more case. It's one more pack of butts, right? Like, you don't have to do it. I can only put 4 pork butts on my drum. It's the only way I've been able to figure it out. So I'm cooking 4 pork butts. The airflow makes a big difference. Blah 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 blah. That's what I'm doing.
You could get a second drum. To do 8.
I could. Maybe I will.
Think about that.
It's not a bad idea.
Brian, what kind of pork do you use?
Get a camera at Pork Time. I want to see you process 8 butts, though. That's what I want to see, though.
Yeah, I struggle. I am not going to lie. It is an absolute struggle. If anybody's ever been around me, deer and pork turn-ins, it is a struggle. Jimmy is sitting there like, let's go. And I'm like, you're right. But it's my process and it's what we do. And I feel like if I'm not running behind, I'm in trouble. But yeah, any other good questions about pork? I do think pork is one of those categories where you can do a lot with it on the cutting board. So that's my thing on that.
What brand of pork do you cook? You gonna share that with us? Or?
West Creek.
Okay.
Isn't that what it's called, Scott?
Is that Allegiance like offshoot or something?
It's PFG's
It's their
brand of when the Allegiance pork gets too big, they can't cook it, so PFG takes it over as their. So it is a Duroc blend of pork.
What about you, Colby?
That's what I cook too.
Okay. For
Which
ribs
now
too?
I am on the other side, like, kind of like Brian was talking about on that thread about the restaurant and stuff like that. I mean, with my father-in-law owning the restaurant, I do get, I can go dig through some pork butts like that. But it's the same thing. I mean, me and Brian both, that is kind of a good tip. That's pretty funny. Both of us cooked West Creek. So, I mean, that's what we get at the restaurant. It's got a full fat cat for me, but I mean, for me, talking about cooking a lot, like I only cook 3. So because I get my headspace goes, I can't focus. I can't do the same thing with ribs, just a little FYI. I mean, but if I start getting too much, like sipping swine, you think, big contest. Well, I should probably cook a little more. Well, for me, if I do that, I'd be scraping up the rear because I can't process it.
Scraping on the bacon.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and ultimately, to be honest, pork not really my category, but on pork, that's what got me DQ'd was cooking too much food. Quite frankly, I thought I had to process it all. Wasn't the case, and just head goes, and you can't do it.
I will make everybody a promise. Since I'm cooking pork and Colby's there, I will ask him what he does in pork just to make him give you all those answers. So I'm going to, that's going to be like a 2-for-1 with Colby on pork. So the guy's got it all there, and there you go. Sorry, Colby, but it's going to happen.
Hey, it's part of it. I mean, I'll give back to the class that gave to me all day. So
I love it.
That's true.
I love it
for sure.
Well, Brian, what's cool about this is y'all know y'all wanted more time for the class, so we've extended the class to be 2 days. So we're going to start at 6 on Friday, and
I was the one that was really pushing for that, y'all. I mean, we did our class, and I noticed how much information there was, and I talked to Mark, and I talked to Colby, and I know Sean. These guys wanted to make sure that they had the best available, and I was terrified of trying to give out that much information in that short amount of time. I'm not that good, I just wanted to make sure that we were able to help y'all out. So blame me if you're pissed off about it, but it's all me.
No, man. I want to thank all of y'all for doing it and what you're doing for the GBC. It's great. It's great to have y'all as a class.
And I tell you what, come take the class. When you're done, we're all going to get in our car and we're going to head on over to $3. Is that where we're going?
Taco Mac.
Taco Mac, not $3. We're going to go to Taco Mac, and we're going to eat, and we're all going to be there, and
ask more questions,
and we're going to be tired, and we're going to be in like that's when you're going to get Mark Weatherall. I'm telling you, right? Like, boom, get on it, get that guy. But anyway, guys, y'all are awesome. Thank you so much for what you're doing for the GBC. As Sean said, and as Colby's saying, Mark, you said you took this class, right? This is one of the classes you took in 18 and 19.
Yep, big help.
You took it last year.
I took it last year.
You took it last year. I've been at every one of them. Sean, you are the guy that has taken it to the next level. You are it. I mean, you cooked in all of them. You've taught in majority of them. You are the mastermind of making this awesome. So thank you so much for what you're doing. And Scott, you're the man, dude. You get the opportunity to rein all of us in and shut us up when we got to shut up.
No, I mean, y'all are great to work with. This is if people doesn't see the value in this class, this is an $800 class. This is an $800 class. You're learning from for the best. So if you want to get ready for Sip and Swine and the other competitions here, come to this class. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. And is it too late to sign up?
It's getting close. I wouldn't, if you're wanting to come to this class, you better get on board because it's going to fill up. It's going to fill up. It's going to fill up quick. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Message Sean, message Scott, message Alan, go to the website, whatever. Get your name on the list. I'm telling you now, Alan's going to send me an email again and say, Brian, this is not the way we do things, but it's okay. This guys are smart enough to figure it out. Get in touch with them. Put your name on the list, get your name on there, and be at this class.
Another thing, Brian, sign up for the GBC.
Yes.
Get signed up.
Sign up for the GBC.
Up for the GBC.
A lot going on, man. A lot going on this year. A lot of new stuff. GBC's always been awesome. We got some guys that are really trying to push it hard. We will get you in. Alan's on board. I love it, Alan. You are the man. I always screw up stuff for Alan. And I hate that. The guy works so hard. He knows what he's doing. And I always come in here and say, oh, just do what you want to do. And I'm not even on the board. I'm just the guy that loves GBC and pushing this for these guys. But get your name in, message Scott, message Sean, message Alan, whatever it takes to get your name on the list, and come hang out with us. You know what? These three guys are a ton of fun. They're awesome. They're going to be doing a great job teaching people. If you want to see me, come see me. Come talk to me. We can talk about doing internet barbecue classes.
Hey, Brian, are you going to have product there too?
Of course.
All right.
Of course. And you know what? Who knows? You join class. Who knows what might happen? I don't know. So, but anyway, guys, thank you so much. Is there Sean, how can people get in touch with you?
Angry Jack Barbecue.
The man.
Facebook. Yep. Angry
Jack Barbecue. Facebook. Colby, how can people get in touch with you?
Just my personal accounts, Colby Bowers. I don't have a page yet, but maybe if we can put together some wins one day and actually something, then we'll get a page then. And I do want to say before we leave, I didn't really get to say much about Sean, but when it comes to the class, and I Scott, you said you and Brian both attended the class last year. Like, Sean is a heck of a pit master. Like, I don't think that's addressed quite as much. I mean, I'm just beginning, but Sean's a heck of a teacher. Like, you sit in your chair and start to write notes, and you're going to go, oh, yeah, I can't write that down. I mean, he's a heck of a teacher, and I mean, you need to be there because Brisket will keep you out of it, and he's going to get you there. I promise.
Yeah, I always say the same thing. Always during a contest, I'm always going, "What would Sean do? What would he do?" You're always like in my head going, "Sean wouldn't do this. Let's not do
That's
that."
right. For sure.
You guys are. I don't win shit anymore, so.
Excuse me.
You don't cook enough. All right, Mark, how can people get in touch with you?
Sure. Mark Weatherall, Maya Jane Barbecue. I don't know. I post a lot more on Instagram, but I got my personal page, and feel free to send me a message. I love chatting barbecue and just chatting up. So, yeah.
Awesome. Scott, how can people get in touch with you?
Scott at Georgia Championship Barbecue.org.
Boom.
And Cool Hand Q.
Even Cool Hand Q at gmail.com.
That's too cool. If y'all, everybody want to get in touch with me, I'm easy to get in touch with. Just Brian.
Ellen at.
If it has anything to do with the barbecue store,
Ellen.
If it's anything that you want to do to talk about the show, if you want to push a contest, if you want to push anything, that's me. That's all.
We got Capital City, first one in Athens. So that'll be in when is that? May the 7th. May the 7th.
Yep.
Athens, Georgia. Of course, we got Sip and Swine. We got all the rest of them.
Can you give a quick rundown, Scott, of the GBC contests?
Yes. Sip and Swine.
Calhoun.
Let's see. Calhoun. Boogie and Blues. Then we've got
Boss Hog.
Let's see. Then we got
Classic City.
Then we got Boss Hog, Honeybee Festival, Swine at the Shrine, Pigs and Peaches, Papa Joe's Banjo BQ, and then there's Atlanta Barbecue Classic,
Lions.
I believe.
Lions.
That's right. We got Lions. Is that before or after? That's after Banjo BQ.
I think it's before.
Is it before?
It's always like October, first week of October. I think.
There you go. And then you could always end the season on a high note with the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic.
Sweet.
More information to
On the
come.
fairgrounds.
More information to come. Expect to see all of y'all there. Make it easy on me so I'm not so nervous. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for a wonderful night. Thank you for all you do for barbecue. Get in touch with these guys. Find out what to do to get in the class, and come see us. You can see me there. I will be there. Sean will probably be signing autographs. But other than that, it's going to be a great time, and look forward to seeing y'all. Hope you have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next week with Brad Leininger from Getting Based in the Barbecue League, coming on to tell you what they've got been going on coming up too. So have a good night. We will see you
Thanks,
soon.
guys.
Appreciate you, Brian.